The only thing with more twist.
The mystery to it all.
Than the history of Serpent Mound.
Ohio. Situated in the heart of America's Midwest, this state is known for its rolling hills, shimmering lakes, and bustling cities. From Cincinnati's vibrant riverfront to Cleveland's industrial legacy. But beneath the familiar landscapes and in the silent depths of its rivers and forests, Ohio conceals secrets that have fascinated scientists and naturalists for generations. Across nearly 45,000 square miles, Ohio's terrain serves as a living archive, a geological palimpsest, and a natural crucible where ancient cataclysms, remarkable landscapes, and traces of lost societies converge. Recent years have seen a resurgence of exploration and scientific scrutiny. Geologists are unearthing evidence of ancient volcanic activity and earthquakes once long gone from collective memory. Archaeologists are investigating the land, unearthing mysterious remnants of prehistoric cultures. Biologists and botanists, meanwhile, continue to encounter species and phenomena that challenge expectations about life and adaptation in the Midwest. Are these discoveries windows to Earth's deep past, or clues to ongoing ecological mysteries waiting to be solved under Ohio's broad skies? If you think you know Ohio, think again. What truths lie beneath its soil, shimmering in lake depths or nestled in dense woodlands? Let's embark, chapter by chapter, on a journey through 20 of the most surprising and sometimes unsettling scientific discoveries in Ohio, a state where every stone depicts a story and every forest harbors a secret. Prepare to experience Ohio in ways you never imagined. Could these revelations deepen not just our understanding of a state, but of our world itself? Sealed magma vaults, fossils of ancient volcanic fury. Beneath the gentle undulations of Ohio's countryside, scientists have documented rocky evidence of ancient and powerful geological forces. Although modern Ohio is not volcanic, geological surveys have indicated that hundreds of millions of years ago, volcanic activity did impact parts of what is now Ohio. Subsurface investigations have revealed ancient igneous rocks, relics of molten intrusions rather than active lava flows. Radiometric dating affirms that these rocks originated during eras when supercontinents shifted and the Earth's crust heaved. Rock cores extracted from deep below ground have captured the presence of minerals such as olivine and pyroxene, which typically form under high temperatures. These minerals, along with volcanic ash layers embedded in Ohio's bedrock, testify to periods of regional volcanism, although little remains visible at the surface. There is no evidence of sealed magma chambers capable of reawakening, but these hidden vaults stand as reminders that under Ohio's fields once lay a world shaped by fire. Paleontologists, examining these layers, sometimes uncover fossils of plant life that lived through ancient environmental upheavals. Burial under ash preserved fine details of ferns and primeval trees, providing a snapshot of ecosystems challenged by volcanic events. While the land is peaceful today, these mineral fingerprints invite us to remember Earth's more violent youth. Vanished reefs, echoes of lost ecosystems. Thousands of miles from any present-day coastline, paleontologists in Ohio have found abundant evidence of vanished reef systems, the limestone remnants of thriving marine communities from prehistoric times, when Ohio was repeatedly submerged under shallow inland seas. If you look across today's farmland, it may be difficult to fathom that these lands were once Earth's bustling ocean floors. By carefully excavating sedimentary layers, researchers have uncovered fossilized corals, crinoids, and brachiopods, organisms that once formed the foundation of these underwater cities. Some reefs stretched expansively across ancient seaways, and their fossilized remains have yielded a treasure trove of now extinct marine species. Trilobites, armored fish, and more. These fossil beds, visible in places like the Cincinnati Arch, are silent records of both abundant life and episodes of dramatic extinction. Geochemists analyzing these fossils have detected abrupt changes in isotopic composition, suggesting cycles of environmental stress, possibly tied to shifting sea levels, mass extinctions, or climatic upheavals over millions of years. As modern science continues to read these ancient clues, we're reminded how life has repeatedly vanished and rebounded in the face of change. The mystery of the Serpent Mound, Earth's ancient signal. Coiled among the hills of Adams County lies one of the world's most iconic earthworks, the Great Serpent Mound, stretching over 1,300 feet in length. This ancient effigy mound draws researchers and curious visitors alike. Archaeologists, through radiocarbon dating and non-invasive imaging, trace its origins to over 2,000 years ago, most likely constructed by the indigenous Adena culture and later modified by the Fort Ancient people. While its exact function remains debated, studies suggest the mound could have served ceremonial, astronomical, or funerary purposes. Its design aligns with the solstices and lunar cycles, suggesting a sophisticated knowledge of celestial events. Excavations in the area have also uncovered small burial mounds built nearby. While some suggest meteorites may have fallen in the broader region in prehistory, there is no direct evidence linking impact events to the creation of the mound itself. What message were ancient Ohioans sending through these undulating shapes? As the shadows of dusk crawl across the snaking ridge, their true intentions still evade full understanding. Glacial Erratics, boulders from another world. Scattered across Ohio's landscape are mysterious boulders, glacial erratics, remnants of vast ice sheets that once extended far south from Canada. These out-of-place rocks, sometimes weighing many tons, were plucked by advancing glaciers from distant bedrock in the far north and carried over hundreds of miles before being deposited as the ice retreated at the end of the last glaciation. Geologists now use mineral fingerprinting and isotopic analysis to match these erratics with their bedrock origins, tracing their travel routes during the Pleistocene. The Big Rock in Madison County, for example, is an immense granite boulder whose composition matches that of ancient rocks in northern Canada. These stones are reminders that all landscapes, no matter how settled they seem, have been shaped by immense forces acting over long time spans. The Lost River Labyrinth, Subterranean Secrets. Beneath the hills and fields of western Ohio, geologists have mapped a hidden network of paleochannels, remnants of ancient river systems that predate Ohio's modern waterways. Through seismic surveys, drilling, and groundwater tracing, scientists have identified networks of buried riverbeds, carved long before the present-day rivers took their current courses. Analysis of these old channels, now filled with silt and gravel, has revealed fossilized remains of ancient fish, mollusks, and even Ice Age mammals, offering glimpses into a time when Ohio's hydrology differed dramatically from today. These subterranean routes sometimes still carry groundwater, surfacing as springs or vanishing into sinkholes, playing a vital role in modern water supplies and hazards. The landscape above may seem stable, but the presence of old riverbeds beneath is a reminder of geology's power to reshape the land over time. The cataclysmic earthquake record when Ohio trembled. It's easy to think of Ohio as seismically calm, but historical and geological records tell a more complicated story. Seismologists have identified fault zones beneath western Ohio, and the state has recorded multiple moderate earthquakes over the past 2 centuries. Deep in sediment cores collected near regions such as Anna and Shelby County, researchers have observed evidence of past earthquakes, disrupted strata, and offset sediment layers. Carbon dating and fault mapping show that while large earthquakes are infrequent, they have occurred. Most notably, a damaging earthquake struck near Anna in the 1930s. Today, a network of seismometers records hundreds of low-level earthquakes annually. These persistent tremors are reminders that the Earth below is never truly at rest, and that even so-called stable regions are not immune to seismic surprises. Fossil treasure troves, dinosaurs in the depths? While Ohio is rich in fossil beds from marine and swamp environments, dinosaur fossils themselves are rare in Ohio due to the lack of terrestrial rocks from the right age. The uppermost sedimentary rocks formed before most dinosaurs roamed the earth, and younger layers eroded away or were never deposited. However, Ohio's rocks from the Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, and Carboniferous periods are filled with priceless fossilized remains of ancient plants, invertebrates, and some prehistoric land animals. Fossils of large amphibians, early reptiles, and plant life like scale trees and giant ferns are not uncommon, painting a picture of ancient Ohio as a land of swamps and forests. These beds are also famous for yielding trilobites, brachiopods, and armored fishes. Each fossil tells a story about the environments that once thrived here and the mass extinctions that eventually ended those eras. The creeping shadow, the mystery of vanishing forests. Across old-growth and recovering woodlands, botanists and ecologists have documented subtle but persistent trends. Native forests are losing ground to invasive species, and some patches undergo unexplained dieback. Soil chemistry shifts, disease outbreaks, and changing water tables all play a role. Dendrochronology, tree ring analysis, shows abrupt changes in tree growth, marking periods of drought, pollution, or pest infestation. Advanced monitoring with drones and time-lapse photography reveals shifts in species distribution, the advance of invasive plants, and the retreat of ancient trees. Some changes are natural phases, while others may be cautionary signals of climate change, habitat disruption, or human impact. The loss of rooted giants that have stood for centuries is both an ecological crisis and a lesson in the fragility of complex ecosystems. Skeletons in the lake, underwater graveyards. The bottoms of Ohio's major lakes and reservoirs hold an array of secrets. Archaeologists and divers have discovered wooden shipwrecks, remnants of pioneers' boats, and submerged artifacts. Paleoecologists, sifting through lakebed sediment, have recovered the bones of mastodon, mammoths, and giant beavers, evidence that these creatures once roamed the region. Many of these bones were likely deposited by ancient floods or drought-induced die-offs rather than mass drowning. Sediment layers, studied with radiocarbon dating, tell the story of repeated cycles of flooding, vegetation change, and faunal turnover across the Holocene. In some places, organic rich strata preserve pollen, seeds, and even residues from ancient algal blooms, providing valuable data on the environmental history of Ohio's waterways. Thunderbolt glass, traces of ancient catastrophe. Across parts of western Ohio, geologists have documented small deposits of tektites, naturally occurring glass formed by the impacts of meteorites or asteroids millions of years ago. Microscopic and isotopic studies of these glassy fragments reveal they were shaped in moments of intense heat and pressure, likely associated with huge cosmic impacts. While direct evidence of a large local crater is lacking, scattered beds of impact glass and shocked minerals contribute to our understanding of the drama that has played out in the state's distant past. Similar ejecta layers correlating with impact events have been found in nearby states, suggesting regional consequences of ancient impacts, from local havoc to global climate disruption. Each piece of glass, with its unique structure, is a detail in the record of the planet's vulnerability to events from beyond. Riddle of the Stone Circles, Ancient Astronomers. While Ohio's mounding tradition is best known for massive earthworks like Serpent Mound, smaller stone circles and structures have also been documented, though not on the grand scale of European megaliths. Archaeological study of certain sites, such as those in the Hopewell tradition, has revealed geometric arrangements of posts and stones, often used for ceremonial or astronomical observations. Excavations have exposed evidence of fire pits, pottery shards, and faint post molds indicating ceremonial gatherings and rituals. Alignments often point to solstices, equinoxes, or lunar events, showing early Ohioans paid close attention to celestial cycles. Each uncovered circle helps reconstruct the varied spiritual and scientific lives of Ohio's indigenous cultures, even if their precise beliefs remain partly obscure. The specter of the Ohio River, shapeshifter of the landscape. The Ohio River is both an ancient geological force and a modern commercial artery. Through cores drilled in its floodplain, scientists have uncovered debris layers, tangled masses of wood, silt, and periodically even archaeological remains consistent with catastrophic flooding events. Radiometric analysis matches many of these to prehistoric times when glacial ice dams burst, releasing torrents of water that carved broad valleys and forced the river to change course. Today, hydrologists and engineers monitor the Ohio's behavior closely, aware that while its banks appear sedate, sudden flooding remains a threat during extreme storms or rapid snowmelt. The river's long and sometimes violent history is a lesson in the unpredictability of natural systems, even in seemingly stable settings. The uncanny cryptids, shadow animals in the wild. The wild places of Ohio have long given rise to tales of unusual creatures, cryptids rumored to move through dense forest and remote marsh. While many such accounts are products of folklore, biologists periodically document unusual tracks, fur samples, or rare sightings of elusive native species such as bobcats, black bears, or rarely the eastern cougar. Wildlife cameras occasionally photograph animals not previously recorded in Ohio's present-day fauna, and genetic analysis sometimes identifies outlying populations or previously undocumented lineages. The shifting ranges of large mammals in response to changing climates and land use may explain some sightings. While the notion of unknown cryptids sparks the imagination, most evidence supports the persistence or return of known animals rather than the discovery of wholly new species. But the mystery and possibility endure. Microfossil marvels, the hidden tapestry of life. Ohio's sedimentary rocks, especially from ancient seabeds, are rich in microfossils, microscopic shells, spicules, and pollen grains. Under the microscope, an invisible tapestry emerges, radiolarians, foraminifera, and other tiny forms preserved in astonishing detail. These microfossils are crucial for reconstructing past climates, tracking glacial advances, and deciphering changing ecosystems. Paleobotanists and micropaleontologists have discovered dozens of new-to-science species while analyzing these microfossil assemblages, providing key data on evolutionary transitions. Each sample of sediment can yield a wealth of information about fluctuating sea levels, mass extinctions, and the resilience of life in microscopic forms. Chimeric plants, evolution's laboratory. In areas of fluctuating environmental stress, urban margins, post-mining landscapes, or floodplain edges, botanists have observed hybridization and rapid adaptation in local plants. While no completely new chimeric species have been cataloged in Ohio, genetic and epigenetic studies reveal that plants often exchange genetic material across species boundaries, boosting disease resistance or environmental tolerance. Some native plants now express traits such as antifungal compounds or altered leaf patterns, responding to introduced pathogens or climatic shifts. These evolutionary gambles, accelerated by human influence, show nature's resiliency and its potential warning signs of ecological distress. The future of Ohio's native flora may depend on these adaptive experiments. Thunderous roars, lake legends, and hidden giants. Lake legends abound in Ohio, stories of mysterious ripples or unexplained creatures. While biologists have not documented the existence of lake monsters, sonar surveys and underwater sampling have detected large schools of fish, swarms of invertebrates, and occasionally, unexpectedly, large specimens of native species, such as catfish or sturgeon. In the deepest oxygen-poor zones, Odd adaptations have emerged among aquatic invertebrates, giant freshwater mussels, or rare crustaceans, for example, but none remotely monstrous. These creatures teach us about evolution in isolated habitats, providing resources for fisheries, science, biodiversity conservation, and a bit of enduring myth. Archaeological time capsules, the echoes of lost peoples. Across Ohio, archaeological digs have routinely recovered caches of stone tools, pottery, jewelry made from shell or copper, and other artifacts attesting to the passage of ancient cultures. Residue analysis, pollen trapped in clay, and isotopic studies enable scientists to reconstruct diets, trade routes, and episodes of migration or hardship. Radiocarbon dating places many of these finds at periods of social or environmental stress, shifting rivers, droughts, or contact with newly arrived peoples. As each layer of soil gives up its relics, archaeologists refine our understanding of why some societies thrived for millennia, while others vanished or transformed. The smoldering faults, signs of hidden volcanism. While not volcanically active today, geologists have investigated subtle thermal anomalies in Ohio, minor upwellings of heat, rare occurrences of hydrothermal minerals, and weak tremors. Most of these phenomena are associated with radioactive decay in deep crystalline basement rocks, or remnants of long extinct tectonic activity, rather than risks of renewal. Some ancient faults have yielded mineral veins formed at high temperatures, suggestive of geothermal or volcanic effects long ago. The consensus is that any remaining heat is vestigial, representing the dying echoes of ancient processes rather than hidden hazards. Yet even these faint signals are studied for the light they shed on Ohio's formative geological events. The flux of ancient rivers, shifting lifeline. Over the past million years, the river systems of Ohio have wandered, braided, and bifurcated in response to glacier advance and retreat, rises and falls in sea level, and other ancient shifts. By studying alluvial terraces, cut-off meanders, and buried riverbeds, geomorphologists reconstruct detailed maps of river migration. Each river's wanderings left behind sediment deposits, fossil beds, and archaeological sites, sometimes stranded far from present-day watercourses. These shifts influenced migration corridors for animals and people, changed soil fertility, and even determined the locations of ancient settlements. Exploring these stories offers lessons for floodplain management and modern urban planning. The ghostly forest beneath sunken woodland. In reservoirs and select floodplains, divers and geologists have discovered upright stumps and trunks preserved deep underwater, a legacy of post-glacial flooding or sudden changes in river channels over millennia. Radiocarbon dating shows that many of these forests were drowned thousands of years ago as wetlands filled, ice-dammed lakes drained, or modern reservoirs were created. Cores from lake beds yield pollen and leaf fragments, allowing botanists to reconstruct the composition of these vanished forests: oak, hickory, chestnut, and more. Such finds enhance our understanding of how Ohio's storied forests have shifted with rising and falling water tables, as well as how similar mode transitions might recur in the future as the climate changes. A living laboratory, nature's warnings. Taken together, these 20 discoveries reveal far more than a scattering of curiosities. They provide a living laboratory for studying resilience, adaptation, and transformation. Ohio, often underestimated, occupies a crossroads where river and forest, fire and ice, biology and history meet and reshape one another. For every bedrock secret or buried artifact revealed, countless others remain hidden, assembling their own silent stories. As science advances, with new tools, deeper insights, and a renewed urge to explore, more will be uncovered. These findings challenge us all to observe closely, question thoroughly, and marvel at what lies beneath the surface. How well do we really know our lands, rivers, and wild spaces? What stories will the next layer of earth or rock tell about us? Are these amazing discoveries from Ohio glimpses of dramas that have played out all over our planet? or warnings and wonders especially visible here at the intersection of geology, paleontology, archaeology, and ecology? What mysteries are yet to be found in this endlessly surprising state? Let us know in the comments. What secrets or riddles of Ohio's past astound you most? And join us as we journey onward, unveiling the extraordinary stories tucked away in every corner of the earth. The unknown is always just below the surface, waiting for those who are bold enough to search and wise enough to listen.